Hi. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to make a part 3 to my cult experience video. If you watch part 1 and part 2, then you know about my experience of why I left the cult that I was a part of. I was a member of the International Church of Christ for 7 years. I just wanted to talk about the different warning signs. I wish someone would have warned me about cults, because I really just assumed what most people think, that cults are a bunch of weird looking people wearing bonnets and weird outfits. No one really talks about a Christian cult, but I got a list of things based off of what I found on different resources online. I also have a list that I wrote on my own based off of what I went through. So get started on my list. One of the major signs is love bombing. You walk into a church and everyone runs to you and gives you a hug and greets you and welcomes you. Oh, welcome, welcome. What's your name? Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Hug, hug, hug. Oh, wow. So who invited you? Oh, okay. Oh, great. So you saw one of our flyers. Oh, that's just great. Hey, why don't you give me your number? I'm gonna put it in my phone here, and maybe we can get together sometime and we can just talk a little bit, chat, get to know each other, we can hang out. How does that sound? You may think, oh, well, they're just being nice. It's a part of their tactic. Of course they're being nice. They have to, because it's a part of their manipulation techniques. If someone's inviting you to meetings, groups, outings, they like to roam around a lot of college campuses. Oh, have you ever heard of my church? And they give you a card or some crap like that, and then they invite you. They leave you under the impression to believe that it's just a group thing, but it's not. It's really about you. And you notice that the focus is mostly on you. That's a warning sign, because that's a part of their recruitment. That's how they recruit people. Rushing you to study or to get together. Oh, hey! Oh, here's my number. What are you doing on Friday? Okay, well, on Friday at 3 o'clock, how about we get together? We can go hang out at Starbucks, or I can meet you at McDonald's. That's what they do. It's like a rush. Like, come on, we gotta hurry up. We gotta get together, because once you meet with them at Starbucks and McDonald's and you get together with that person, I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna talk to you about studying the Bible, and they're gonna make it seem like a rush. The truth is, you don't know if you'll die tomorrow, and if you die tomorrow, you're not gonna make it to heaven, so we gotta hurry up and baptize you, so if you do get hit by a car or by the bus, you'll get to heaven. Are they stupid, or am I just really dumb? Because one of us is not making any sense, and that sounds stupid to me. If they are trying to separate you from your family or friends, they do it in a very slick kind of way, in a way to make it seem like they're looking out for your best interest. I was told that I had to come to church every single Sunday, that you cannot miss not one Sunday. I was used to seeing my family on the weekends like twice a month. I was told I can't do that no more. They was like, yeah, but you're gonna be here for Sunday morning. And it got to a point where I stopped going to see my family, all because I was like, oh, I gotta be at church on Sunday. I just can't miss church. When they do things like that, or tell you, I don't think this person is good for you to hang out with. You should start hanging out more with the church family. They use the scriptures to control you, but what they do is they twist it up and they repeat the same scriptures over and over and over. And so it makes you feel like, well, I gotta listen to this person because A, they know more about the Bible and the scriptures than I do, and B, I'm here for that. I'm here to learn. They twist up the scriptures to suit what they're trying to say, to kind of fit their ways. Not answering questions. So I had this one person, I can't remember, I wish I remembered. I asked him a question when I very first started studying the Bible, and I thought it was a simple question, and his response was totally opposite of what I expected. It was like he got offended, like you would have thought I said something bad. And his response to my question was, you know what, if that's how you feel and you want to question me about things like this, then you shouldn't become a Christian, because you're not going to get the answer to everything. And I was like, I didn't say anything personal about you. I asked you a simple question because I thought you know the Bible, so you'd be able to answer it. It was just something that didn't make sense to me. To the people who don't answer your questions, that's a warning sign, because I should be able to ask questions. I shouldn't have to shy away from asking questions. when you're required to do certain things in order to become and to remain a member. One of the requirements that I had in the International Church of Christ was to have accountability partners or discipleship partners. That was one of the major ones. I hated it. It was so annoying. I spoke about it in my other video. I always had to meet with someone every week, tell them my business. Me and my husband had to meet with this couple, tell them our business. It's like you just don't have any privacy for yourself, and that's how it starts with losing your individuality. That's how they program you, by causing you to feel like you had to rely and depend on somebody else, because in your mind they're making you believe that they know better than you because they've been around longer or they've been a Christian longer. It causes you to feel like you can't trust yourself and like you don't have a right to your own personal business. Claiming that they're the one true church. I was told a lot that there was the one true Church of Christ. I was told that this is the church that will get you to heaven. All the other churches out there are messed up. They're doing it wrong. They don't know what they're doing. And if those people are going to the other churches, not our church, then, pray for them. Money, the offerings, tithes. Me and my husband usually like to combine our money when it comes to offering. I wasn't working. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was going to school. I was told I had to contribute money, and I had to contribute like 10% based on some scripture in the Bible. My whole thing was I didn't have a 10% of anything to give because I wasn't working. I was going to school. I was told I couldn't take his money. I had to do it on my own. And then when I finally did start working, I would put my money with his and we'd combine, and they said we can't do that. They was like, well, if your husband is giving the offering from his wallet, that speaks for him, but what about for you? So God's gonna be up there on like this big thing, you, Tina, that way. Why? He's gonna be like, cause you didn't give no money, and all the money that I got was from your husband, so you got to go. The meetings, Tuesday, that was midweek service. Friday, that was family group, or you could call it Bible talk. Say Saturday evening, to see my discipleship partners. Sunday after service was over, I had Total Recovery, which was a group of me and a whole bunch of other women. You have to do all these freaking things. You can't just go to church on Sunday anymore like the good old days. They want you to attend 3 different times, and if you don't go, then it's an issue. When I started school, I got reprimanded because I couldn't attend Bible talk anymore because I had class on Friday. I was told, well, if you end up getting class for that day, you shouldn't be in school because God wouldn't allow you to go to college if you have to miss 3 days out of the week to be with your church family. Now, if they're calling you and you don't pick up, and suddenly they show up at your door and they're like harassing you and hunting you down because you didn't come to church on Sunday, they haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, or because you decided you want to leave, that's a problem. It's up to you if you even want to go to church. I remember they came to my door and was like, oh, can we come in? And in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm relaxing. And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. It was very awkward. I was in my pajamas. I was chilling with my best friend on the front steps of the house. This was back like when I was in the church, when I first started really feeling like I wanted to leave. And they was just started talking to me about why I need to get to heaven. I need to start coming to service again. And I only missed a couple of weeks of service. But I was falling off from the church. But it wasn't because of God. It was because of the people and the stupid rules and all the crap that you have to do and go through. No one should be controlling who you date or who you love or who you marry. They will try to control your friendships. They'll try to set you up with certain friends. Oh, well, you need to get with that person because she's married. She has kids just like you. And she's around your age. But she's boring. I want to get to know that person. Like, they'll try to set you up in a weird way. You will already have made a friend with someone that you feel like you click with. But if they don't like it, they'll set you up with the most boring person that you're just like, we don't even match. They try to control relationships in the church. Just plain old controlling relationships. Your friendships may feel artificial. They may feel kind of fake. I kind of put this down as a warning sign only because of the last warning that I just mentioned about controlling who your relationships are with. My friendships were very artificial. They just felt very fake. I didn't feel like I could connect with anybody. I felt like I had to be friends with them. Like, this is gonna help me for my salvation. So your friendship doesn't feel like a friendship. It feels forced. It feels more like, well, I have to be friends with this person because this person is good for my salvation. Everything in your life is totally controlled by this cult. Everything. Guilt is a very big thing. They will try to use guilt on you to get you to do what they want or to get you to agree to something. Guilt is something that they did to me a lot. Just put it this way, they will find any way to make you feel guilty. A cult will tell you you're going to hell, tell you you're not being a good mom, you're not being a good influence, you're not being a good role model, you're not being a good wife. Any way to make you feel guilty. They will whip out that Bible and beat the hell out of you with that Bible. Not literally, of course, but emotionally and mentally. Just to guilt you into staying and to guilt you into following the structure that they have built that they expect everybody to follow. Manipulation goes hand in hand with the guilt. They manipulated me when I decided to leave. Started telling me scriptures, made me feel guilty. Well, if you leave, you're gonna fall into temptation and sin and you're gonna be worldly. And it's just a manipulation game. And that manipulation actually worked for me for years, which is why I was there for so long. I mean, there are people who are there longer than me, but 7 years was still a long time for me to take all the stuff that I had to take while I was there. Character assassination goes hand in hand with the guilt and the manipulation tactic. A way to get you to conform. Character assassination is basically when someone assassinates your character. They try to beat you down until you break and keep you there. And this is how they control you. Kind of like a bully. A bully constantly tells you you're ugly, tells you you're never going to be anything. If someone repeats these negative things to you over and over and over constantly, it gets into your head, and then you start to think maybe this person's right, and you don't even realize it, but you're thinking it. And so what cults do is they use character assassination as a way to get you to conform. This is why my friend decided to stay after she got married and was kicked out. She decided to return. They assassinated her character so bad, it pissed me off. I was just like, why are you staying? And that was so bad that it was enough for me to want to leave, because I was like, I can't be a part of this. If you're in a cult, then you will eventually start to look, talk, and act like the people that are members of your cult. They will try to tell you how to dress. They'll try to tell you who to talk to, how to talk, special vocabulary words they want you to use because it's appropriate for the cult. They try to tell me how I need to dress. I was told how I need to speak to my husband. I was told how I need to treat my husband. I need to serve him before I serve my kids. Doesn't matter if they're starving. When there's food, he gets to eat before they do. It's just a bunch of dumb crap. It's just a load of crap. It takes so much to get it out your mind, but when you're in the middle of it and you're there, it's very hard to get it out your mind because you're surrounded by it. You got to take yourself out of the equation in order for you to finally see through a clear lens. Singling you out and making you feel like there's something wrong with you. No matter how hard you try, you're never going to be good enough. I'm just telling you you're not. As long as you're in the cult, you're not. You know why? Because they're going to keep telling you what you need help with, what you need to be prayed on with, who you need to speak to, what scriptures you need to read in order to do better. They're going to keep telling you these things. And so singling you out, they pick certain people who they feel the weakest to do that with. In my case, it was me. I don't know how. In the beginning, I was kind of like a rebel. It was kind of difficult for them to get me to conform to them, and so eventually they told me enough that I was prideful and that I needed to be humble, and that my pridefulness was going to get me to hell. They told me that so many times that I started to believe it, even when I really wasn't being prideful. I was just being opinionated, or I was just standing my ground and just saying I don't agree with you. I just had a mind of my own. That's how I was raised to think. They just make you feel like you constantly need help. And honestly, the truth is, no matter what you do, you're never going to be up to par with their standards. That's the whole point. That's how they keep you there. And to break down, that's basically also how they single you out. That's a part of character assassination, guilt trips, and manipulation. They make you feel like crap in order to break you down. They lead you into submission, which is what they did with my friend. She They broke her down so bad that she decided to submit and do what they said, and she just went forward and decided to stay a part of the church, shunning you when you leave the church. Kind of like how the Amish people, you leave, that's it, they don't talk to you anymore. If you are a part of a church and you tell them that you're going to join another church, or you want to visit another church outside of the church you're a part of, and they get upset, not even worth it. Because I'm telling you right now, that is like probably one of the most biggest obvious signs that you're in a cult. No one should be able to tell you, or even has the right to tell you, what church to go to or to even visit. So if they completely cut off any kind of relationship and communication with you, all because you decided to leave, why are they so offended? If we're all people of God, we're all family, why are you so upset that I decided to leave and go somewhere else? I'm not saying I'm leaving to become an atheist. I'm just leaving to go somewhere else. I'm going to post some links down below on how you can see the signs of a cult, and review it, look at it. This is a very necessary video, especially if you have joined or are thinking about joining the ICC. You need to watch this and you need to listen carefully. Okay, I talked enough. See you later. Bye.